Chapter 13, A Promised Gift. The following day, security was hate and as the interior was quiet, as every month the deathful dawn. Tiber sat in the porch drinking her sorrows away as she reminisced about the longs and her past. Tides of the twins confessed her, the twins, and chaos, a forbidden mix, like myself, she whispered to herself. Abooksigun is sitting outside on the porch of Jerem's home, thinking to himself in the darkness as the night skylight with speckles of stars. How can the twins be trusted now? His eyes told himself. Simeza and his nephelim sit and tried. Terrible. Will they be a risk? When? Elde calls him, Abooksigun. He stand threatened too quickly before realizing who he was. Yamher. Wait, is it now, Elde? Elde notices his attention is azure. What, this is not an emergency. You just thought I'll let you know that we are moving at midnight. I can sense talk now where it is with lives. Abooksigun sits back down, really. And how do I signal that? Only in has met and had some contact with it that is erotic know nothing about. So I about fear means being intertwined. It's at one thing, so him. Told except that they are in queen already dangerous. Eldest house a look of concern in his face and Abooksigun sees it, visits the twins. Elde, what is the troubles you? Abooksigun senses worry from Elde. Can we win his war? Every time we turn around for a small break, hell is turned loose against us. Is good really with us? He did not give us his powers for nothing. He feels so spent. We constantly wait for danger because every knows he seems so calm and relaxed. The twins called though so much devastation and destruction. How can we know or be certain when we live on it of fate and of the greatest battles we will have in all of our lives that even it will not know that we are coming to any twins. Yell appears before Abooksigun. You are mid-wovers because evil is brewing to your east and west. You are surrounded by a leon very powerful, so-called Abenin, which is tying whatever is meant. Can now afford it you more to your with his sword and according to Sabbath's will. Rebuke evil and fast, for war is near. Yell disappears and all the sisters staring into space. Abooksigun restores him of victory against the Abenians. Doubted war is its in after death, and many of us being to doubt as it doubted myself just before you arrived. All done is gone, our life is nothing but a snaze, actual, fear is your conception, your birth, and the choice death. We have to make it count, make it worth something. Majority just won't admit that evil is among us, causing is still over. Let us mourn, if not for a minute, and then when we are strengthened the Sabbath. To answer your question, you do not know, Elde. It was the will secure victory for us. We can only be prepared as best as we can. Have faith. Trust in the Sabbath, your God. We shall win. If the twins were not supposed to be with us, if ill asserts Sabbath would have gotten rid of them by now. Ye to worry about him, but trust in Sabbath. Sabbath is able, me friend. Elde sees and looks back at Abooksigun. We shall win. Elde bows to Abooksigun and walks away. As Elde disappears into the night. Coach interrupted, hold on, now, big man. I thought you were going to tell me when my grandfather and grandmother got married. Abooksigun just talked about her, but you haven't mentioned a thing. Big man lies, child, you forgot. He got into the story and left all that behind. Well, they got married right around the time of Cocknen's first encounter with Bastard and Abooksigun's breakup with Lassen. Abooksigun was confused and broken-hearted about Lassen's behavior, and the Cocknen was confused about her being a descendant of Napoleon. They committed their feelings to each other and fell in love months later. Odon, Senny who was the oldest, ordained the wedding, and the 30 were all present. Marie was pretty much like Wainyenyekቩ coins relationship in that they respect each other and loved one another. But that's enough for today. You must prepare for tomorrow's deployment. You will finish up after dinner. While Cus was packing his things and getting ready to go off to the military, he thought about the fact that he was a descendant of both the first man, Adam, and the Meguder Nephilim because of his grandmother's lineage and wondered to himself. Whoa, wait a minute. Early the following day, Bima saw the confusion in his face and asked, what is you? Kius saw her concern, confessed about myself. He admitted and Adam, the first man. Said, Adam, the first man, did have any earthly mother or father either, and holding her hands. To say, what's your point? Said, child, your human being has about $1 for his glory like we all, and Teizel unidak now. Many for people bar like not head much. Say but will show you what you want to show you. Tell you what you want to tell you. You either obey, or you don't. Kiss sighed, but you have a few more questions. Is Ludicrous same place as Takra? Isn't it the same person or two different people? Baby said, child, look Takra, Tak, and Takri are all same name for one place. Takra and Takri are short for look Takri and also the nickname for its people. However, Lotarisa had the name 14th Kingdom Lux Takra. Eslen Urisina was the mother of Isanorisin, so yes, they are two different one of the same lineage. The intents were very complicated and secretive regarding their names. Smells, and so it decided to be just as complicated. Kish just looked at Big Ma. Well, you did your job, Cass, you was definitely. Confess it all. But he got it now. Big Ma stuttered for a minute. Yuck, no wait. You was also thinking, if people know that you were the relative of someone $1.92, will take back the same odd view. Tell them not again make a name for yourself. Say about this with you, and Teizel you and Fanny took now. Agreed? Kiss shook his head, agreed. Bega looked at the time inside. Now, I'm going to make you favorite dinner and finish up this story. How do barbecue ribs, potted salad, baked beans, and some homemade biscuits sound? Cows lit up like a Christmas tree, sounds good tone. After dinner, Bega grabbed a small box and placed it on the table next to Kiss. Now don't open this till we finish my story. Shaking his head, Kiss smelled, Bega took a seat in Sam's favorite chair. Now, where was he? We must appear before Abooksigun. Non-believers must live for what is her, and also operationless to your believers. They saw crossed the messenger line or day. Maminandi told him, they didn't know best it stayed banned when all Tibanians had left, made because since that wins presence. See just no say. While Bition took up let it my sins at it longed for. She is a terrible abilities to torment the twins. It wasn't until take place in the water poisoning that she was outnit. Yes, said Travis of 5 chows. So, on that same night of take place in, Abooksigun ordered in the morning he made demanding how he the next day and all believers those kept got us out past it messenger line. He was met with contempt by most of them, as animals howled, he got up for his seat. Man, Vicky on your God. I'm going back to bed. 200 out of 3. Hasn't non-believers did less than to him. We don't know where to go. Abooksigun sighed, hey towards announce you past the messenger line. They have a play for non-believers, but if you stay here, you will be, and they left right away. Bastet made her way into spirit and possessed them in all non-believers, even the and competence, as they slept. They possessed them with their desire, their lust, and thirst for revenge. The ghetto was furious over Abooksigun's presence and how they were well off before he came. The entities were furious about the deaths caused by the water poisoning and for the competence, it was the sewage. The competents were living in deplorable conditions. The sewage slowly took over the bubble, and their equipment malfunctioned. Many competents tried to go forward, but the machine overflowed with sewage. Can you imagine living in a bubble with poisoned water in the small set of river? Large rods formed a furious basket ran to Piotr and had him under her control. His under her power released a low vibration, but enlightened individuals give off a much higher vibration, and the rods would detect them if they stepped on or near her veins and rods. Yet all she possessed became a branch within her, and each branch was her strength. Theory looked like the eyes of forest. Large rods and veins covered and blocked the entrance of Sust, the ghetto, and the entire scope of New York Governorate. The guards had noted the rods and also rested the following day. Bastet turned her captives into zombie-like creatures that obeyed without hesitation. Anecdotes and competence are in front of them, and their Wakadalians, friends, and family obeyed them. Yale and all the guardians appeared before them, and the guardian of Guardians appeared as they prepared for war. The guardian of guardians howled, ignored the Begia passed and rolled up a cigarette. The Turkish continued, Abooksigun howled, you all and alarms went off considerable quickly get dressed as she was locking in her armor. She locked up in Sal Bastet in Timor. She was beautiful continent with a wicked appearance. She looks much like their mother, Esuin Orisana. Begia passed and locked that kiss. He replied, you got it now, Big Ma. Big Ma smiled. Mark, you just want to make sure that she continues, and she also looked slightly like a cookinin. Bastet was suddenly behind a considerable. Startled, she jumped around to face her enemy. Both now on was furious she heard a burst of evil louder, died for Jimmy you are 2 weeks done. The creature cackless. Panicked, a considerable calls for her sister, but no sound leaves her mouth. She grabbed her throat and realized she cannot speak nor use her powers. Bastet reappears in front of a considerable. Died of the nail. A considerable looks up again, mortified, as she realizes that her powers are useless. Suppose autumn if her daggers and sweeps at Bastet, who quickly dodges them. From the right, a considerable sweep is in an arch pattern, the same for the left. Bastet dodges a considerable several times. Meanwhile, a cookinin feels something is wrong with her. Subline and leaves her room to go and check in a considerable. A cookinin moves quickly toward the hallway, feeling a sense of urgency with her sister. She hears a whisper, danger for Gemma. A cookinin hears the voice in her inner ear, causing her to freeze and tense up. No, no. Belle. She runs down the hallway to a corridor that leads down a staircase, screaming, Belle. She busts through a door that leads to the backyard. The door disintegrates before a cookinin was servants try to drag it dark clothes overhead and move away from Jeddins. Home. Within the clothes, a cookinin sees it helpless, possessed, and within the considerable and Bastet. No. She screams. A cookinin becomes a blur as she runs at superhuman speed inside a vertically formed wind vortex. She takes flight turning the vortex into a alternate order running in the back of this vortex that leaves the ground and aims directly for Bastet and the considerable. Worked louder in sauce, and lightning flashes all around the cookinin as she reaches her head off for her sister. The considerable is not herself, and time appears to have slowed. The demonic in which control the considerable as she found, Luxecra. A massive burst of energy leaves the constable's mouth with a piercing sound. That wide burst of energy cleaves through the cookinin left alone, causing her to jagged chuck in her blood. Down on the earth, Alde feels the power of Sabat running through his veins. Bastet commanded the veins to spread from the earth, wrap around Alde and bend him to it now. Alde says he is drained of his power by the massive veins and hears the sound of Bastet's deep, dark, and evil louder, not this time, Alde. Your tracks worked once but will not work twice. Abooksigun hurls a spear directly at Bastet, wow. Knocks it out of the air. She stretches forth her hand at Abooksigun, and the ground opens up and moves upward towards the sky, throwing Abooksigun several feet away, where it causes a massive quack. But don't catch his hand. Lauren stamps the earth, says Mectura. The giant certain rock drops back down to the earth. Bastet severely locate is not at Laurel, son of the earth. You will agree on it. Bastet commands the ground to move again, but it doesn't. Laurel has total power. His is the vents bending all day and commands them to release him. Bastet screams in rage and releases the rods and vents that cover the entrances of the Sustendificato. The possessed rushed toward Abooksigun and his warriors while Bastet disappeared with the constable. Abooksigun and his warriors cut. Timol dawn on beyond. After the battle, Tiski clears, and Alde struggles to stand up. Wait was head. Alde exclaims. Abooksigun, Lord of Brit and in pain with a slash in his right arm, sighs. Tessin Ibanian, Adamon. The pain grasped his arms and shoulder. Laura moves in the direction of a cookinin. Says near death and is bleeding out. Laurel stretches his hands over cookinin and prays for her, Yart and Nigger. God in heaven, bring forth your healing power. He shouts in Hebrew, Rape. The cookinin stutters skin sews itself back to her by the power of Sabbath. The cookinin cried out in pain, and then the pain was gone. She breathed heavily but was relieved that one had been healed and pressed Seba for her life. The guardian of guardians appears before them all, standing in the heavens. Dressed in gold, crystal armor with a crystal crown growing out of his head, the angel speaks with a powerful voice. You all were warned of this day's coming. Now is not the time at all at your fat water. Stand strong. You are being surrounded as a spear. Fate and the spirit, and the flesh will follow. Tango and search out this fallen foe. You will be victorious, and you will conquer all. Sabbath is with you. The angel fades away from the heavens, and the warriors foretell me to get a sudden burst of power and renewed strength. Abooksigun ordered all to whip their weapons at the track in front of Jedim's Hamas. He poured out the contents of his son and at the area of her. Cows from Sust and Thickedo entrances came over to Yopik as the people overran him. Most of the people who escaped from prison were stationed at the entrance of Sust and followed like madmen, but the people stationed at the gate visited the cold possessed people waited at the gate because they were friends or family members. Losing a third of the warriors from Thickedo, Abooksigun became upset. These are now your family and friends. They all have been possessed, and if you don't kill them, they will kill you, he shouted, but the people still hesitated. Fell back to the train station and he ordered every nest area became saturated with the possessed. Hours had passed, but there was no letting up. So slowly became filled with vents and rods. Doom took his simile and chopped at the rods, and a loud creak could be heard from Melis, and the possessed people began to shake in pain. Rods dug themselves out of the ground and started hurling themselves at the warriors. Abooksigun saw a child looked up in vents and said to down, follow D. Abooksigun slashed away at the vents and helped the child escape. Looking behind, making sure no one was left behind, Abooksigun ran toward Down as he cut away at the vents. Down looked behind Abooksigun and saw a rod headed toward him and jumped in front of it as he tried to morph, but he tripped in a vein. Seeing he called morph in time, he put himself in front of Abooksigun and rod hitting their way, and the rods punctured his lungs. Time stops, darkness covers Abooksigun. And he sees what looks to be his father. Pops, said Yao. Waninikevu, curious himself, calls out. Abooksigun. Hearing his son's voice for the first time in over 12 years. Abooksigun asked, Pops, how did you get here? Waninikevu told him and cried, saying, Son, you must Yao. Looking round, Waninikevu asked, where are you? Abooksigun smiled, this is New York, and we're at war with. How did you get? Waninikevu and Abooksigun talked for hours, so it seemed, about their adventures. Waninikevu spoke about his trip to Ireland, and Abooksigun talked about his adventures in New York and all he had accomplished. Pops. Abooksigun asked, how did you do it? These people are zealous, some believe in Sabbath, and others don't. You cannot tell which is which. It is confusing at times. Before Waninikevu called answer, Mlazi and Mshika appeared before them. You shall find out at this moment, for you shall receive the awful spirit of your father. We gave you this opportunity to speak to each other for one last time. For Waninikevu's time has come to an end and shall be taken with us, for on this day to receive the gifts of the other. It is your turn to take the reign. Abooksigun, ye shall be taken from her instant of world where many lights shall shine, but because of your father's decision, ein region shall have no light, but that light, ye shall be taken to where Sabbath needs you. There is no need to learn his gifts, for when it is passed unto you, you shall see and feel all that he has in his enlightenment, and you shall know his gifts like breathing. Not only his gift, but you shall inherit his wisdom, knowledge, and his understanding. Afterward, your grandson shall carry the torch and open up the hearts of many living in darkness. The last true light to shine in this earth. Mlazi and Masi walked toward Waninikevu, saying, my faithful servant. Welcome home, for you have fought a great fight and worry not. About your family, for they shall be comforted by your loss. You are truly sleeping but at peace with us. Waninikevu walked away, and Abooksigun sobbed, Pops. Waninikevu turned, and Abooksigun cried, I love you, with tears in his eyes. Waninikevu shouted back, I'm proud of you, son, and I love you too. In a matter of seconds, Abooksigun not only levered in his feathers as for the kid's but also mustered his feathers gift. Abooksigun catches a glimpse of tiny and different futuristic outcomes. Darkness returned to Abooksigun as he beloved moment had done fell to the ground. Ecokinu, his kinsman, yet and the sow with happened and ran toward him. Down, slowly dying, handed Abooksigun his son and Don's knife, give it a centoin, and you people Don's knife. You want to go stuff in it. He mumbled before taking his last breath. Flying over the dirty 30 estate took up the rolls and Vince's in interjects, and some commentarjects and possessive people, and the Vince and wrote for great afteria. On the dirty 30. Surrounded down, there was and venison over them. Ethan was strangled and torn apart by his middle legs. Abooksigun's mouth was sealed set, torn in tear, and beaten to death by the branches, failed the troubled day, and Abooksigun was left by himself weeping when a tree fell on him. Darkness covered Abooksigun again as he saw them slowly dying, and again he handed him his son and Don's knife, give it a cent Abooksigun, and he people Don's knife. You want to go stuff in it. He mumbled before taking his last breath. Abooksigun, yet and all the sow with it happened and went toward him. As Abooksigun upright, a large branch followed toward Abooksigun and punted her into back, followed by two smaller branches that grabbed her arms and pulled her in half as blood splattered in Abooksigun's face. See after that. Horribly yellow, and Abooksigun stood in shock as another branch wrapped around his throat as he passed out into the darkness. Again, the darkness covered him, but this time when Abooksigun made it to him, he had a look on his face. Looking at Abooksigun, he sighed, "Baby, do you trust me?" Abooksigun saw his face, and it was the first time he had ever called her baby, and she said, "Yes, you know we do." Abooksigun said, "Do everything you tell you." Jumped 2 inches to your right as he took up his summary and cut a large branch that followed his way. Now, on the count of 3, take out your sword and cut a vine to your right cause you have one coming to your left. 1, 2, 3. Now follow me cause now you can see like me feather. Abooksigun got on his earpiece, no radio sounds and a little you all clear, and only pay attention to a voice. Sebath has come to our rescue. Just when Abooksigun thought he had a perfect scenario, it indeed did after many of his people. Abooksigun understood that on small chain could produce different results, so played out different scenarios before he picked on. Abooksigun, his kinsman, yet and all the sow with happened to ding and ran toward him. Down, slowly dying, handed him his son and Don's knife, give him a cent Abooksigun, and you people Don's knife. You want to go stuff in it. He mumbled before taking his last breath. Abooksigun shouted to his men, "No. Stop. You got this." He toward the train station, making his ready to Liberty's land, and wait for me. Leave your dead behind to wait for me, and don't look back, for Sebath has found me path. Abooksigun took up his son and weapons and whipped. Temal with the content from the son, and he appeared, faith in the spirit, and the flesh will follow. Abooksigun knew very well the vines, branches, and rods will make before they made them and cut them into pieces. Yes, they met his weapons and turned it into a puff of smoke as bastard could be heard from miles in pain. Abooksigun made it to the train station, and Elder was waiting for him. Everyone has made it what took you so long. He was beginning to worry. Abooksigun smiled, practicing the new gift that he was promised, Seba de Sabo. Not understanding what he meant, Alde just smiled, "Ok, let's go." Abooksigun told Alde, "Born to sit break so no one can follow us. Today has been a long and painful day." Abooksigun turned in his earpiece, and everyone was happy to hear from him. Destroyed the train tracks ahead of Liberty's land and banned it that will be home for the time being. Fit for food and secret perimeter by and weather. Made Alde here in Norway. Abooksigun lived in this land, and on after minutes his gift and made him royal to honor the fallen out of cement. Abooksigun heard, "May have your attention. Today Sebath has found me so much. Me feather, me dear and best friend." Abooksigun passed, trying to hold in his grave, Dunya's gone. Although need many more have did, and he appreciated them all. May gift is to say 20 minutes into the footery and read a man's heart. It did not have your in late end, your heart is poor. Imterid and du will discuss CS3-13 tomorrow. 24 her. Georduien tisrakental sebat sausis het wenito do. The people felt Abooksigun's penis walked out immemorial and read it in honor of the warriors of Sust Oldon, Dun. Rubbing on Dun's name, a cooknin walked up with a plate in hand, her, yet. Abooksigun smiled, baby, he never told you this, but he do love you. He reached in his pocket and handed her Dun's sen, he told me to give it to you. Tears fell from her eyes, and the cooknin sighed, I love you, too, and thank you. He sat in a corner, ate his meal, and craved a sleep thinking about Young.